Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Manny's Fitness Program. Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you back. It is a wonderful and beautiful day, this day that was given to us. Let's rejoice and be glad in it and make the best out of it. Let's get straight into the video. Today we have a story time video. I get this question asked a lot, so I decided to make a video out of it. And it is, what's my fitness background and how I joined the Marines. I'll be sharing with you guys my story on that on this video here. Let's get the video started. In order for me to paint the whole picture, can I tell a story here? I'm telling the story. That's my son in the back. He's just chilling. In order for me to paint the picture of this question here, that way you understand clearly where my fitness came from and how I joined the Marines. I'm gonna take you guys way back to middle school, because middle school is around the time that I actually kind of started working out. Never really got too serious until I got into 8th or 9th grade, around that area. So once I got into high school, that's when I took it a little bit more serious. I started joining the teams there. I started doing the wrestling team. I got into the wrestling. I got into a little bit of football, but I wasn't really too much interested in the sport. I was more interested in fitness, because I remember when I first joined football, I joined football for the fitness benefit. I knew that it was gonna push me. I knew that it was gonna break me, but still build me up stronger, better, faster. So that's kind of the main reason I joined the football team. I'm not a big sports fan. The only thing I watch right now is basketball. Go Lakers. But football, I did watch it just a little bit, not too much. And so again, the reason I joined the football team is for the fitness side of it. So while I was in there, I only spent just not even that long. It wasn't that long when I was in there, and you know, I liked the workouts, I liked the training regimen, I liked everything about it. The push was awesome. But then somebody mentioned to me that wrestling was harder, because I had asked them if there was anything harder than football, and somebody mentioned that wrestling was even harder in the fitness side. So I said, you know what? I'm here in football for the fitness side, but if there's something harder in high school that's gonna train me harder than this, then I want to join. So again, I wasn't a big wrestling fan. I used to watch WWF back in the day when it was WWF. Now I know that it is WWE, but I wasn't really into the whole wrestling matches and stuff like that. So, but somebody told me that it was harder than the football training regimen. So I switched over to wrestling. And in wrestling, that person was right. I can't recall who it was, but that person was right. Wrestling was killer. It was killer. They train you till you're dead on the mat. And it was awesome. I loved it. I don't know, something about me. I always loved the burning sensation. I always loved it because it's just a whole different experience. Once you get completely out of your comfort zone, it's like a new world that you're fighting in. And you know you're gonna win because it's a controlled chaos. It's a controlled workout. It's a controlled environment. So you do feel safe, but at the same time, you do feel like you're gonna die. And I always like that about a high intensive workout. So there I was in the wrestling team, and I made the team and everything, and you still have to be aware that you are part of the team. So I did my best being part of the team. And I like doing the whole wrestling matches. I like the moves, the maneuvers, the mentality that they gave you, that they trained you to equip yourself with was awesome. The whole pushing to your limit was awesome, and knowing the moves and techniques, I thought it was great. And of course, the training was one of the best. I don't know if you agree with me. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've been in wrestling all your life and you've done the whole wrestling team in your school years, or even if you're doing it now. Let me know what your story behind it. But I think it's one of the best training fitness regimens out in high school. Anyways, so there I was, did the whole wrestling thing and everything, and I didn't do it for that long. I ended up stopping sports, I believe, in my junior year. I ended up stopping sports. I ended up doing more of my own selfish needs. And when I say that is I was always out and about doing the wrong things. I grew up in a bad neighborhood. I grew up doing the bad things in life, rough neighborhoods. I ended up growing up for a few years in Los Angeles as well. And when I say Los Angeles, I'm talking about Compton and downtown in East LA and all those rough areas. So I picked up a lot of bad habits and, playing my life in a risky way. Anyways, I stopped sports, but then me and my friends continually worked out. We worked out together. We had gym memberships. One of my best friends, he always invited us over to his house, and we worked out there. We had a bench. We had lifting competitions, and we worked out hard. We always worked out hard. And one thing that was always missing though is our nutrition. We never had a good nutrition regimen. So, but we were young. We still had results. We still got results. We still looked good. We still built muscle. But then performance, I think, could have been 10 times better if our nutrition was there. And not only that, as we got a little bit older, not watching our nutrition properly, hindered our metabolism, hindered our muscle growth as we got older. So it is a bad situation if you're young. My son is in the back having a great old time. If you don't watch your nutrition while you're young, it can put your metabolism in danger and your anabolic state in danger when you build muscle. So we got older and, we still worked out. That puts me into after high school. We still worked out. We still did our own workout regimens. We still, hung out at the gym together and worked out. Never to 100% commitment, but we still all worked out. Some of us went into the Marine Corps. The way I went into the Marine Corps was based on my own decision. And I made that decision because I went to college a couple of years. I studied business administration, and after college, I still attended Park University, continuing my business administration career. And after that, I was looking for a job. It was hard to find a job, especially here in Lompoc. It's a very small city at 144,000 people. So it wasn't very big. The opportunities are very low. And so it was hard. It was hard not only for me, but also for my friends that went to college with me to get a job around here. In the business side, I did get a couple of business related jobs, positions. Like I worked for a vegetable distribution business, certain restaurant businesses that I worked for them as a business administrator, stuff like that. But I wasn't satisfied. I wanted something more. So the only second option I had was moving away. I still lived with my parents around that time, and the only other option was moving away to a bigger city or something like that. So I needed to make a decision, and the Marine Corps was always there, being offered to us, to all of us through all high school, but we never really paid too much attention to it. And at the end of the day, it was time to make a decision. I was spending a lot of time, a lot of years, just doing something I wasn't satisfied with, I wasn't comfortable with, and here and there, I'd received some good information on the Marine Corps, how they offered more skills and how it can improve your mannerisms, your knowledge, overall discipline, and the training came into mind too. The training was one of the high marks in the military, especially the Marines. I know the Marines ended up being one of the branches that I chose because of the fitness training regimen that they had to go through in order to become a Marine. Because I remember before the Marines, me and my friend ended up going into the Navy interviews, into the Navy recruiters, and we were going that direction. We even took the exam and everything, and at the end of the day, I didn't pull the trigger. I wasn't sure about it. Once I found out the Marines was even harder to get into, that kind of lit a fire under me, and that's when I did pull the trigger on joining the Marines. That kind of put the icing on the cake. So I made my decision, and making my decision fell upon myself. And the reason I say that is because I didn't even mention it to my parents. I didn't tell anybody. Only my close friends knew that I wanted to go into the Marines. In the last minute as well, that was only by myself. I never really mentioned it to anybody. And like I said, including my parents. I didn't let my parents know that I was even taking the exam or the ASVAB and anything until I already had my spot reserved in the pulley section. So once I signed on that dotted line for the pulley system, that's when I brought it up to my parents. And my parents weren't so happy because they perceived the military as being a dangerous position. So, but I did it. I signed and I already had my spot. There was no turning back. My father was a little bit happier than my mother. My mother is the one that's always a little bit more worried. My father was always, encouraging. He was like, hey, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. And he did mention, he said, it's the Marines, it's the military. Be ready for that. It's going to be a wake-up call for you. And so that's it. My mother ended up coping with it, and she was cool with it until the day that I got shipped out to boot camp. And I said my goodbyes, and I was out. I went into the Marine Corps in 2002, July the 21st. That's when I shipped out. So that is sort of my background on my fitness. My fitness continued, especially in the Marine Corps as well. My fitness continued in there. I ended up becoming a martial arts instructor. I was always the PT leader there. I was always the physical trainer there at every unit that I checked into. The training was always top notch for me. I always made sure I rose my hand. I always volunteer for anything that had to do with training or fitness. That was me. I was always volunteering for everything. That includes going overseas. I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2005, and that was volunteer work because my MOS was administration. When you're an administrator in the Marine Corps, you don't automatically get shipped into war. You have to volunteer unless there is a mandatory shipping date for everybody, including those that are doing administration. Then you will go with an obligation. It is mandatory. But if it's not, which that time period, once that war broke loose, it was still volunteer for those that wanted to ship out and go to Iraq. And that was me as well. I rose my hand to go to Iraq, so I served that war there. And when I returned, I still wasn't done with my training. I wanted more. So next thing you know, in order for you to move up rank, you have to do a billet. So for me, it was either a recruiter or a drill instructor. I found out that being the drill instructor took a little bit more because you actually had to get qualified to be a drill instructor. Everything needed to match up, including physical fitness. And long story short, I ended up qualifying. I ended up shipping out for drill instructor school, and there I was. After a few months in drill instructor school, I was a drill instructor. That was the best time of my life, but very hard work. I had a blast doing it. There was moments that it was the worst times, but deep inside I knew that I always loved training that hard, so I loved it. I loved every moment of it. But there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is my story, my fitness background. I left out a lot of little details here and there. If you guys are interested in knowing a little bit more of the details around my fitness background stories, or any other fitness background stories, any other stories in the Marine Corps, or anything that you would like to know, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below. There it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys like these kind of videos, make sure you hit that like button. If you have a question, comment, or concern, make sure you leave it down below, and I'll try to get to it as fast as humanly possible. Other than that, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also hit that notification button so you won't miss none of my future videos. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Take care. Always and forever, mind, body, and strive.